Hi everyone, it's your English teacher Andrei, and in today's lesson we are talking about the present, we are talking about our present, we are talking about our actions, our habits, and how there is no time like the present. Well, but we're doing it the right way, so just stay until the end to find out how to use the present tense in English. The present tense is the base form of the verb. So, for example, I go to London, or with the third person singular, she, he, or it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out this video to learn more about the uh, pronouns. You would have a form that adds an es at the end. For example, he goes to London, he walks to London, he walks to the store, anything like that. Okay? Then we have to think about the fact that these are affirmative sentences. But the affirmative sentences answer two different questions. So, how do we form those questions? Those questions will start with do or does, depending on whether we are in the third person singular or not, obviously, because we've talked about how the s at the end affects the form of the verb. We use do and does with question words such as where, what, and when. So if someone asks you, where do you come from? You're going to say, I come from Romania for myself. Also, with who or derivatives like whom or whose, we don't use do or does, we use directly the verb. What about negative sentences? What if we want to deny what was asked of us? Then we are introducing the word not. I do not play football. Or a shorter form, I don't play football. That the shorter form is called a contraction. In questions or negative sentences, we only use the base form of the verb, as you've already seen so far. For example, we don't say he does not plays football. We say he does not play football. Play being the verb form that you encounter in the dictionary. What about when to use the present tense? The present tense is used to say something that is true in our present. For example, I am 25 years old. Well, that is technically not true yet, but soon enough. Uh, Also, you will use it for expressing something that happens on a daily basis or regularly. For example, I play Among Us every day. Every day is also an adverb that we're going to talk about in a separate lesson, an adverb of frequency that specifies that an action is habitual, it's routine or not. For example, you can have every day, every week, always, sometimes, often, and many more. Also, you would use the present tense to say something that is always true, such as a theorem, for example, or an axiom, or anything like that. For example, the human body contains 206 bones. We know that because it is a biological fact and it is a verified fact. No one can deny it, so we use the present tense when we are talking about it. For those that want to know a little bit more, you can stay until the end to find out. The present tense can also be used to say something that is fixed in the future. Did you know that? For example, the school term starts next week. Next week means that it's going to be in the future week, right? After words like when, before, or after, you will use the present tense. For example, I will talk to my mother when I see her, or I will talk to my father before I see my mother. Okay? Or you also use the present tense to express a condition. We're going to have a separate lesson on conditionals, but for now, we're going to focus on the first conditional, which actually uses the present tense. If I see you, I will punish you. Okay? So that would be conditional one. Because after if or unless, you use the present tense, and it's obligatory. Lastly, for those advanced, where do you think we would actually use the present tense? I would ask you to comment down below what you think your answer will be. Well, you can use it when telling a story. For example, I was walking down the street the other day, and suddenly this man comes up, we see the present, and tells me, also see another present, he has lost his wallet and asks me to lend him some money. We've seen actually three verbs with the present tense that have been used so far. So when you're basically narrating a story, or you're also summarizing a book, a report, a film, or a play, you will also use the present tense. You'll actually need to use the present tense. For As an assignment, I would like you to try your own at writing a little bit of a review of the latest movie or anime or whatever thing, article that you read or something that you've watched recently. For now, bye bye.